Hello everyone, we have Joan of Arc Dawn Protector on the test server. So like we saw with the patch notes, she's going to be a dimensional hero, a strength-based hero as well, belonging to the support class, and the primary role is going to be a buffer. So can't wait to see what her skills are. I'm going to start with her ultimate skill here. It's called Stand Firm, so this has a passive ability to it. Joan of Arc standard protects her, reducing her damage taken by 30% and grants her immunity from knockbacks. The reduced damage is converted into Joan of Arc's protection value up to 100% of her max health. When actively used, Joan of Arc repels most debuffs from all allied heroes and restores their health equal to 100% of her current protection value. The health healed is no less than 250% of her attack rating. When Joan of Arc casts her ultimate, allied heroes except herself gain 12% attack rating for 8 seconds. This effect cannot stack. Protection value will be cleared each time Joan of Arc casts her ultimate. So level 2, when Joan of Arc casts her ultimate, she recovers 5% of her max health per second for 8 seconds. And level 3, when Joan of Arc casts her ultimate, allied heroes except herself gain 20% attack rating for 8 seconds. So I can't wait to see what this protection value is. I hope I find out what that protection value is, what that really means for Joan of Arc, and what that means for the entire allied side of the battlefield. Let's look at Waving Standard. This is also a passive ability. Passive Joan of Arc waves her standard to instruct Phantom Standard to charge with her when she enters the battlefield, dealing damage equal to 100% of her attack rating to enemies close to her. If there are enemies blocking her path during her charge, deals damage equal to 200% of her attack rating twice to enemies within a certain range in front and knocks them into the air. Whenever Joan of Arc launches an attack, except for her ultimate, restores health equal to 70% of her attack rating for herself and all allied heroes behind the Phantom Standard. When Joan of Arc carries her standard to the enemy's backline, the Phantom Standard will stay in the enemy's backline permanently. And level 2 Joan of Arc's charge deals damage equal to 110% of her attack rating to enemies close to her. Level 3 healing amount is increased to 80% of Joan of Arc's attack rating. And level 4 healing amount is increased to 100% of Joan of Arc's attack rating. So looks like she'll summon Phantom Standards that will charge with her into the battlefield, and they will stay with her until they go to the enemy's backline, and then they'll stay at the enemy's backline permanently. So that's pretty unique. I don't think I've really ever seen anything like that with any other heroes. Let's move on to the third skill, Standard Shield. Joan of Arc swings her standard, providing a shield that has a value equal to 180% of her attack rating to herself and all allied heroes behind the Phantom Standard for 5 seconds. She deals damage equal to 220% of her attack rating to enemies within a certain range in front 3 times. Level 2 Joan of Arc deals damage equal to 240% of her attack rating to enemies within a certain range in front 3 times. Level 3 increases the shield value to 200% of Joan of Arc's attack rating. And then we have the first engraving skill. Whenever allied heroes behind the Phantom Standard receive healing from Joan of Arc, their attack rating and defense ratings are increased by 10% for 8 seconds. The effect stacks up to 30% of Joan of Arc's corresponding stat. So she'll swing her standard, and she'll provide a shield to herself and all allied heroes for 5 seconds. So yeah, shields are pretty important in the game, especially when you get into late game. They become pretty important. So that sounds pretty good. She'll also deal damage to enemies within a certain range in front 3 times. So I believe that means she'll deal 3 attacks there to the enemies. Okay, the final skill here, Standard Barrier. This is another passive ability. So it looks like we have 3 passive abilities here. Passive, all enemies in the area behind the Phantom Standard take damage equal to 140% of Joan of Arc's attack rating once every 3 seconds. Whenever an enemy takes damage from this skill 3 times, the next hit from this skill additionally stuns the enemy for 1.5 seconds and increases its damage by 20% of her protection value, up to 200% of her attack rating. And level 2 increases stun duration to 2.5 seconds. Level 3, all enemies in the area behind the Phantom Standard take damage equal to 180% of Joan of Arc's attack rating once every 3 seconds. And level 4, this is the second engraving skill. Whenever an enemy takes damage from this skill 2 times, stun is triggered and damage is increased. So, behind the Phantom Standard, when the enemies are behind the Phantom Standard, they will take damage once every 3 seconds. And they also can get stunned by this as well, so definitely a pretty good stun there, 2.5 seconds. Really, any second counts for in terms of stuns in this game. You really need stuns for getting into the higher levels of the campaign. And yeah, that sounds pretty good. All the skills sound pretty good there. Let's move on to the signature item. Iris Standard. The signature item skill, Standard Protection. I think this might be where I find out what the standard protection is. After Joan of Arc places the Phantom Standard in the enemy's backline, allied heroes take 6% less damage. The reduced damage will be converted into Joan of Arc's protection value. So, after he places the Phantom Standard in the enemy's backline specifically, allied heroes will take 6% less damage. So taking less damage sounds pretty good. Plus 10, after Joan of Arc places the Phantom Standard in the enemy's backline, allied heroes take 12% less damage. The reduced damage will be converted into Joan of Arc's protection value. Plus 20, for the first 3 seconds of a battle, Joan of Arc is immune to all damage and converts them into protection value instead. So plus 20, she'll be immune to all damage for the first 3 seconds. That sounds pretty good there. And the plus 30, after Joan of Arc places the Phantom Standard in the enemy's backline, allied heroes take 16% less damage. Reduced damage will be converted into Joan of Arc's protection value. So it sounds pretty good. Able to take less damage. Allied heroes will be able to take less damage from this. So that sounds very good. It's just all about getting those Phantom Standards to the enemy's backline. That's really going to be the main problem here with the signature item. And moving on to the furniture, let's look at the furniture here. Okay, we have Graceful Blessing. With the 3 of 3, when Joan of Arc reaches the enemy's backline, she is able to cast her ultimate without using energy. So she'll immediately use her ultimate ability when she reaches the enemy's backline. And the 9 of 9, when Joan of Arc casts her ultimate, the protection value will no longer be cleared but reduced by 50% of the original value. So she'll do her ultimate ability and the protection value will no longer be cleared, so that sounds pretty good there. And yeah, the 3 of 3 and 9 of 9 furniture sound very good for this one. And let's see about the Arena of Trials. I think the Arena of Trials has already come live for the test server, but I just want to test her out with the wooden dummy. Yeah, Joan of Arc's Arena of Trials has already started, and I will do that later, but I just want to go ahead and go to the wooden dummy and see how well her skills perform here. Yeah, I just want to take a look here at her skills, and I believe those blue things in the top and bottom are her Phantom Standards, and when they reach the back line, they stay there permanently. And then allows for, when she gets to the back line, allows her, with her signature item, for her allies to take less damage, which is very nice there. Yeah, able to do quite a bit of healing, I think. And overall, her skills so far are looking pretty cool. I really like the blue hue to her skills. And yeah, the Phantom Standards just stay there in the back line like that one skill said they would. Yeah, she's doing quite a bit of damage to these enemies here, but yeah, this is not like a full test, so yeah, I'm not expecting her to do really a lot here. Oh, I guess I should say I'm expecting her to do a lot of damage to these guys, since yeah, really any hero can do a lot of damage to these enemies here. Since this is only the one dummy, like I said before. Yeah, there's her doing her ultimate again. That blue flash covers the entire screen, which it looks very cool. All of her skills look very cool. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to do the Arena of Trials later. I'm not going to do that now. I just wanted to look at her skills, her signature item, her furniture, and her engraving. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe. There'll be a button up by my head that will allow you to do that. And there'll also be a video over there that you can watch as well. And thanks for watching.